Hey everybody, it's Andre with the Eaglesoft Field Guide, and I am coming to you with an introduction for version 25 of Eaglesoft. Now, Eaglesoft 25 came out today, December the 2nd, 2025, and um, there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes with Eaglesoft, more than things that you're going to see. I'm going to take you through some of the things that you can see, that way you can see what's different. But a lot of things were done in the background to make the software run faster, and I'm going to go through some of those too. But let me take you through a couple things here. So here is the new user guide, and I'm going to link it below so that you guys have it. It's going to go through what's new. It's going to go through the new changes to make Perl integration even better. That's a whole topic we're going to talk about another time. I'm going to do a deep dive into Perl in another video. But Perl will be a lot more integrated. It will work a little more seamlessly, but I'd love to be able to show you that more. So I'm going to go into a different video. The changes that help move e-claims within Dental Exchange, those things will happen. I'm going to go into that another time because I don't do a lot with Dental Exchange, so that'll be something we'll have to look at. The appointment display option, really cool for those people who have worked with me on integrating IntelliCares into Eaglesoft. You'll see some things there that you'll really appreciate. The bigger changes are the changes that need to happen for the ADA 2024 form. Although we're in 25, almost in year 2026, the 2024 form will become mandatory in 2026 for a lot of insurance companies. And you need to have some fields available that are only going to be available in version 25. So let's take you through a couple things that I want you guys to see. So couple things that are important for the ADA 2025 form that if you're on version 24, you probably have already seen, but don't realize that they're going to be key components of the new ADA form. So gender, male, female, and unknown. That's going to be a huge component for the 2025, I'm sorry, ADA 2024 form. It's so far behind that it's weird to say it. But for the 2024 form, you're going to need to have these three fields in order to fill in the fields for the new ADA form. So that's something you've probably seen before if you're on version 24, but they're going to be essential for the ADA form next year. So that's one. Number two is setting under the provider screen. So under each provider, you're going to have a setting for locum tenens. That's when your doctor is out for medical reasons, whatever, and somebody is filling in for them. This is not a temp doctor. This is somebody who will be filling in to replace your doctor for a period of time. I'm not going to go through the rules of locum tenens. But I just want you to see that this is a checkbox that you will check for a locum tenens provider that also populates the ADA 2024 form. If you didn't have this box, you would not be able to complete the ADA 2024 form if you had a doctor standing in for your doctor. So that's there. The next one is going to be a fantastic one because this is something that gets requested on a regular basis. It's the last scaling and route planning date, so that as you're doing perio maintenance for a patient that's newly acquired by your practice, we can show on the ADA form when the last date of scaling route planning was completed. So this is, again, this is a key component of the ADA 2024 form, and if you don't have this field, you can't complete that form. So this is an option. This will show up when you get to your walkout screen and select how you're going to submit the claim. This question is below that. Hopefully you guys are used to seeing this screen, but now we have a field for when the last date of scaling route planning is. I'm sure in the eClaims third-party software that this is an option, but now you'll see where it is in Eaglesoft. Here's the one that I really love. So on the left side of the screen, you're going to see the version 24 pop-up info. So when you hover over an appointment, if you have that setting set, you will see what's on the left side of the screen in version 24 and some of the historic versions of Eaglesoft. On the right side is what you're going to see in version 25. And this is what I really love, that whole section of coverage information at the bottom. So you're going to see the primary insurance, you're going to see the secondary insurance, all right, and then you're going to see the primary employer name and the secondary employer name. And you can also, at the very bottom, which has nothing to do with coverage, you get to see what the patient balance is and then the account balance. This is huge, guys. So many people ask this, and so many people are typing it in every day and that kind of stuff. So we now have the employer information, insurance information, and patient balance and account balance. So this one right here is worth the price of admittance. You know, I would update my software just to have this information. So in your hover screen, so on an appointment, if you hover over the appointment, you now get the ability to see this. But also, you get the ability to add those as static information on your appointment screen. So I'll give you an example over here of an appointment that you can see, and then you have the services that are listed on the appointment. But now you can add this information right to the screen. So you don't have to have it as a pop-up. You can have it just show up here. The issue is most people, if you're on a 10-minute increment and you have a 60-minute appointment, you have 6 lines of information. So how much information do you typically use there? Line 1 is typically name. Line 2 is typically like the procedures are getting done, depending on the size of your screen. And then you go to cell number, maybe home number. And then all this information would be after that. So it might not be something where you're going to have the space to be able to put all that information in the appointment block, but you now have it in the pop-up. So you know, either way you want to do it, either in the appointment block or in the pop-up from the appointment block, you can see it. So really great information that's going to be available right on the screen. Primary, secondary insurance, primary, secondary employer, right on your screen. All right. And then here's all the release notes. I'm not going to go deep into this because there's a lot of technical stuff here. All right. But most of the stuff that you see here are fixes to make the software more stable, to run faster. They solve a lot of error messages that we saw in the past. So just read to this screen. If you've noticed any of these error messages that you can see down here, you can see where it says fix error, could not update toolbar registry. If you've ever had that error message, it's fixed. If you ever had the bottom two, which is can't reach page or can't find part of path, these are all going to be fixed. Install the software. You've got fixes for these things. So I wanted to bring this to you because this is just introduced today, December the 2nd, 2025, and I wanted everybody to have this information. I'm going to do some more deeper dives with it. I've had the beta software for a while, but this is the most recent candidate, and it is now available for you guys to download and use. So if you've been having any of these error messages, or you want to take advantage of some of the things you saw, if you're a Perl user, this is the time to update. And if you're not a Perl user, this is the time to consider looking at Perl, especially if you were somebody who was concerned about the loss of the measurement tool. The Perl integration measurements are so much more accurate. So if you were looking at that measurement tool and you can't live without it, go to version 25 and look at the option of Perl. And like I said, I'm going to do a deeper dive with Perl as soon as I can. But I wanted to bring this video out to you as soon as it was released, and it is out. So hopefully you guys will take a look. If you have any questions, comments, put them down in the comments below this screen and post them in the Eaglesoft field guide. But wanted to get to this as quickly as I could. Thanks, guys.